This is the Army Today Extra, an update from the CENTCOM commander. From Atlanta, I'm Gail McCabe.
We've got some tough months ahead, clearly, in Afghanistan, and probably some difficult years. The situation there, as you well know, has deteriorated over the course of the past 2 years. We need to reverse that trend and get the situation improving, spiraling upward instead of spiraling downward. There's a new embassy team, there's a new AFPAC Special Representative, Ambassador Holbrooke, privileged to have him as a diplomatic wingman, and of course new military leadership team going in now as well.
What can you tell us about Pakistan and its impact on our military?
Well, we have a relatively modest number of individuals on the ground, military, in Pakistan. Every expectation and their desire is that Pakistan fights its war. And right now there is a unique convergence of the people rejecting the Taliban, of the political parties all united against the Taliban, the religious leaders issuing fatwas against the Taliban, and the military fighting very hard against the Taliban. After all of those different groups saw what the Taliban did in the Northwest Frontier Province.
As CENTCOM commander, how has your perspective evolved?
The focus before was exclusively on Iraq and on factors that influenced the situation in Iraq, and now, of course, that's expanded to encompass 19 other countries. So we've picked up, frankly, a lot of other plates that we have to try to keep spinning, if you will. And it's not just Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. There's also piracy, there's arms smuggling, there's illegal narcotics, there's Iran. There are other extremist elements, and then there are a whole host of other challenges and forces that are threatening the states in the region.
As you travel around meeting with military and political leaders, how have you been received?
Well, it's been quite positive, and interestingly, when you look at the Gulf region in particular, our best recruiter, if you will, has been Iran. The provocative actions and the provocative rhetoric by Iran have prompted a number of countries to now literally put their arms around us and to request assistance and partnership.
Iraq continues to be a work in progress. How would you characterize it today as we're facing the drawdown of troops?
The progress in Iraq remains. When you go from 160 attacks per day in June of 2007 to a period of now 5 or 6 months in which there have been 10 to 15 attacks per day, when you see that happen, clearly that represents significant progress. Substantial progress since the period of the surge, but that progress does indeed remain still fragile and still reversible.
Over the years, you have placed a high value on relationships. How do they factor into your new position?
Absolutely, relationships matter, particularly, I think, in the Central Command area of responsibility. These are cultures that are founded on relationships that build over years. Relationship building has to be part and parcel of what a theater commander does, and we work it very hard. It's one reason that we are out there in the AOR all the time, and a big reason why we are trying to get everyone invested in what we're doing, everyone working together.
Is the job everything that you expected?
You have some sense, certainly, of what's going on in the greater area of responsibility. But of course, until you sit in that chair, until you take command, it's not quite the same. There are enormous responsibilities. But we obviously have a tremendous number of great young Americans, well over 215,000 soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, tens of thousands of civilians, all of whom are trying to make way together and all of whom are shouldering, again, the responsibilities that are so significant in this region.
The Army right now is experiencing unprecedented numbers of suicides. How does that impact you as a theater commander?
We've got to look very, very hard at it. We saw some of this certainly in the various tours in Iraq. We did surveys. We sought to analyze it constantly. We had a great deal of suicide awareness campaign activity. Everyone is constantly trying to isolate those factors that seem to be responsible for this. The chain of command is working very hard to try to identify them when they are present, to try to take measures in advance, obviously, to help those who have done so much for our country and who have sacrificed so much together with their families. And it's very clear that we need to continue this effort. We need to indeed redouble our effort so that we return to them some measure of all of that they have given, if you will, to our country by the attention that we provide when they need it.
That's the Army Today from Soldiers Radio and Television, Atlanta.